So there's a real interesting book that I'm reading now called Hooked by Michael Moss. Fascinating. And he talks about your brain on processed foods. And he does this interesting comparison between alcohol, tobacco, and drugs versus an addiction to cheeseburger, fries, or ice cream, which is interesting because the speed at which the sugar touches your tongue and connects to the reward circuitry of your brain is about 600 milliseconds. That's a little more than a half of a second. And that's 20 times faster than if you were to smoke a cigarette and have nicotine enter the brain. And so this book is about really how much more addicting these processed foods are compared to alcohol, smoking, or even drugs, which is actually, you would think those are much more addictive. And he gets into some interesting data with food companies and how they have suppressed a lot of the research with sugar and how they have influenced various laws to prevent being sued by any side effects that occur from consuming processed foods. And another thing that's interesting is that in the 70s, food companies started buying up the diet industry. So, for example, Heinz, the company Heinz, bought Weight Watchers. I'm not sure who owns it now. The company Unilever, which makes those Klondike bars, and they even own Ben and Jerry's. They bought Slim Fast for $2.3 billion. And of course, Slim Fast right now also sells their keto version. So you can have the sugar version or the keto version, depending on who you are. Nestle bought Jenny Craig. So it's interesting that the companies that are making processed foods are also the companies that are helping you lose weight. And so the other thing I want to talk about is how they actually diagnose an addiction slash substance use disorder. Um, there are actually 11 criteria that are used. Okay, I'm going to go through this. Number one, hazardous use. Is the substance dangerous to yourself or others? Can you overdose on it? Number two, social or interpersonal problems related to use, relationship problems or conflict with others. All right, number three, neglected major roles. Uh, you have failed to meet your responsibility at work, school, or home because of substance use. Number four, withdrawal. When you stop using the substance, you experience withdrawal symptoms. Well, that definitely shows up with sugar. Tolerance. You have built up a tolerance to the substance, so you have to use it more to get the same effect. That's definitely related to processed foods and sugar. Number six, use larger amounts or use the substance for longer amounts of time. Number seven, repeated attempts to control use or quit. You've tried to cut back or quit entirely, but have not been successful. All right, number eight, much time spent using. You spend a lot of time using the substance or eating the processed food. Well, people spend a lot of time eating, right? And snacking. Number nine, physical or psychological problems related to use. Your substance use has led to physical health problems such as liver damage. Well, that's fatty liver, right? Or lung cancer, or psychological issues such as depression or anxiety. Well, that's definitely related to processed foods. Number 10, activities given up to use. You have skipped activities or stopped doing activities you once enjoyed in order to use the substance. Well, you stopped exercising, right? And number 11, craving. You have experienced cravings for the substance. Now, what's interesting about this, they gave you 11 criteria. If you meet 2 or 3 of the criteria, you have a mild substance abuse disorder. 4 to 5 is considered moderate. And if you meet 6 or more criteria, you have a severe substance use disorder. And so I definitely think that processed foods and sugar definitely fit in the category of addictions for sure. All right, thanks for watching.
Hey, before you go real quick, I have a course entitled How to Bulletproof Your Immune System. It's a free course. I want you to take it. And here's why. Here's you. Here is your environment. Everyone is focused on this over here, avoiding your environment. But what about here? What about strengthening your immune system. That's what's missing. This course will show you how to bulletproof yourself, and so you can tolerate and resist your environment much better by strengthening your own immune system. I put a link down in the description right down below. Check it out and get signed up today.